Hey everybody, welcome to another fun-filled episode of the Art of Relationship show. Going to be talking about Halloween, of course. I do a special show for Halloween every year, okay? Some people don't celebrate Halloween, but I do it with a little twist with Halloween, right? How many people have already had adult parties out there and you're dressing up in the sexy costumes, you're dressing up in the hot costumes, whatever, and your man, ladies, if you're heterosexual, they're like, damn, you look hot, you look incredible, right? Man, you don't ever dress like this for me. Do you give yourself permission to bring that wild side out that you do with Halloween throughout the year now? Okay, I'm going to challenge you. And also, how do you want your men to be? Do you want them to role play? Do you want them to, pretend to be a cop, firefighter, professional, ball player, whatever, prison guard, whatever your thing is? Do you want them to role play that situation? And I'm going to talk about this, so don't go anywhere. I am going to do the intro, and we'll be back with the Art of Relationship show right after the intro. Don't go anywhere, people, okay? Welcome back, everybody. This is the Art of Relationship show, and I'm your host, as always, Greg Dudzinski. I'm a fully licensed professional counselor, relationship and sex specialist, and have been for over 23 years now. Doing this professionally. I love it. It's my passion, and I love helping people out there as much as possible, okay, to have healthier, fun-filled, more connected relationships or marriages, whatever works for you, okay? And also promoting self-love and self-respect out there is very, very crucial as well, okay? I also have a lot of grief, a lot of trauma experience. And anybody, my website down below, check me out, check out Google reviews, if you will. Theartofrelationships.org is my website. You can follow me. I'd be so flattered. Very much so flattered if you follow, like me, all over social media, YouTube as well, at LoveGuruGreg. And I definitely appreciate you tuning in and spending your time. Again, as always, throw your questions down below, okay, people? Throw your questions, your comments down below. Anything I can do to help you with your dating activity, with your love life, maybe your intimacy life, marriage, that type of situation. Also maybe help promote your self-love and self-respect as well. Hey, Kevin, what's going on? I appreciate everybody tuning in, looking up there. Juicy, is that Juicy Mama? I'm just curious. That's sort of cool how you spelled that. But any questions, throw them down below. And my question, I want to have a little fun today during this episode about Halloween, right? A lot of women out there, right? Stereotypically, I know I hate stereotypes, but I'm going to go right there and to be able to look at, women dressing up in sexy costumes, sexy devil, sexy nurse outfit, whatever it is, sexy witch, you name it. They're all, sultry and beautiful and all this stuff. And I ask people, how often do you bring this out? Do you only give yourself permission to do this once a year, Halloween? And I know adult parties last weekend, this coming weekend, next weekend, they still have adult parties going on as well. And I'm curious, how often do you allow yourself to be brave enough? It's ironic, right? A lot of women out there, men too, right? Role playing, want to be this character. And how many people, women out there that you want your man, if you're in a heterosexual relationship, you want your man to role play a little bit more. You want them to be the firefighter and hit you over the head with your hose, right? Being a smart ass. Or, handcuff you, right? Be a cop type of thing. Whatever that situation is. And how many people out there, you role play but you only give yourself permission to be that, seductress, if you will, on Halloween, but you don't do it throughout the year. And it's ironic. And I want to ask you and question you, what gives you permission to do it during Halloween? Like, oh, it's allowed during Halloween. However, throughout the course of the year, you sort of don't give yourself permission to be that seductress, to be, that role-playing situation. Do I think it's sort of odd? I don't judge. I'm just asking, throughout the whole year, you're more subdued. Oh, I can't do that. I can't be that seductress. I only can be that for Halloween. Gives me permission. I'm wondering, what would it take for you to give yourself permission to be that seductress, that sexy nurse or, sexy doctor, sexy lawyer, sexy librarian, trying to go over all the the dominatrix, right? Maybe the sexy Catwoman, whatever your thing is, right? Not right or wrong. How often would you be able to give yourself permission throughout the year to bring that wild side out? That's what on my thumbnail, bringing out that wild side, not just for Halloween, but throughout the course of the year, okay? And not saying you want to give your kids nightmares or anything like that if you have kids, whatever. But I'm looking at it's ironic, and I wondered this forever and ever. Like I said, I've been doing this for over 23 years now professionally, working with couples, working with individuals as well. And it's ironic how, Halloween brings out their wild side. Woo, I can be wild and crazy. However, throughout the rest of the year, they're more conservative, not to use that, negative term, but they're more subdued. They're more shy. They're more timid. Oh, I can't do that. And all of a sudden, pretty soon, body image aspects come out throughout the year. I can't be like this because I don't like my body. But you did for Halloween. You were able, you dress, you get me? So there's a lot of maybe double standards when it comes to the Halloween season upon us, right? To give us permission to role play, to give us permission to sort of be someone, a character we're not on a day-to-day basis. But I tell people, are you able to bring that wild side out? That little confidence when you role play for Halloween, whatever costume you're wearing, are you able to bring that out throughout the year and give yourself permission to bring that wild side out? I bet you your man, if you're heterosexual, or your partner, even in same-sex relationships, will love it. They will like it. And I tell people, I'm honest, there are those out there that will not like it. And I usually tell them those are the control freaks because they will belittle, they will demean, they will, ridicule. Oh, I can't believe you're this. You're a slut. Those are control freaks, and those are not healthy situations. Hey, Melissa, happy Wednesday, all. I appreciate you tuning in, and I appreciate everybody else joining in. Cleo, what's happening? What's going on? Charles, what's going on? Give everybody props out there. Brenda, hello. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Hey, Scott, what's happening on Instagram as well? So throw your chats down below, and also let's have a little fun with this episode. And, women, men, whoever's listening out there, right? I got quite a few on TikTok, and I'm flattered. I appreciate it. What would you like your partner to do on for dress up for Halloween? But also, how would you like your partner to be, throughout the rest of the year, to bring their wild side out, to bring their, that seductress side out? And it's ironic how you find somewhere in you find that confidence to do it this time of year during Halloween, but you're sort of shy, sort of, maybe conservative, sort of withdrawn throughout the rest of the year. And I'm curious, if you have that confidence for Halloween and give yourself permission for Halloween to be that sexy nurse, whatever it is, or, the guy wants to role play, maybe he wants to be that domineering type, right? What gives you that confidence? It's inside of you. Let's be real. What can we do to bring that confidence, that wild side out for you and your partner throughout the entire year, okay? And again, I'd love to hear, what costumes are you wearing this year? What costumes would you like your lady to wear this year? Okay. And those are, I would love to be able to hear, what are you wearing? What do you want to wear? What are you afraid to wear? Or maybe, guys out there with your ladies out there, what, you would love to see them in a certain costume for Halloween or throughout the whole year. However, you only want them to wear that for you because you don't want all the guys gawking, all over the place. Or are you confident enough to say, yeah, that's my lady, she's with me? And are you going to be confident enough to be able, yeah, she's with me, eat your heart out, guys. And I joke around with clients about my lady is phenomenal. And, guys checking her out in the stores, Home Depot, wherever we go, right? And I joke around, I'm laughing because the guy's, checking her out. And everyone's like, why are you laughing, guy? That's disrespectful. I look at it, eat your heart out because I know she's with me. I'm flattered. I'm flattered. I'm honored. I'm cherishing that. So it's that confidence aspect, that you bring out on a regular basis that you can trust each other and sort of joke around and play around a little bit with that conference. Yeah, you see her checking you out. You see that type of situation, and you're able to be more playful. Now, if trust is not around, right? Say your lady cheated on you. It's horrific. Your man cheated on you, and it's shattering, right? Because all your self-worth, self-esteem goes down the toilet. But I want to be able to bring that back up, okay? I want that to be able to, heal, absolutely, and bring out your confidence level once again, okay? So, hey, Tim, what's happening? So that's where I want people, let's go back to, what gives you confidence to be a certain character, if you will, during Halloween? Where do you get the guts to do that? And also, I want to hear, join in the chat down below, people. What are you dressing up, or what did you dress up last weekend or this weekend for adult-themed Halloween parties, okay? And people are going, well, we didn't dress up at all, Greg. We were nudists at an adult Halloween party. I'm like, whatever works for you, right? So I'm looking at, what throughout the year would you be able to bring more confidence, more sexuality, more wildness, maybe freakiness might be another word, into your relationship, into your love life, into your intimacy life. And a lot of people have a hard time with the confidence, right? We have people that we would think they would have a lot of confidence, let's be real, a lot of sexuality, a lot of confidence in that realm, and they don't. And there's, men, women, and there's, men and women that have all kind of sexual confidence, and they really shouldn't, right? Because they think they're all that, but they're not. You get me? That arrogance element out there. So, hey, Roxanne, what's happening? Join in, people. Throw the comments down below. I want to hear, what are adults wearing for costumes? So we throw the men out there too, and men, women. What costumes would you like to see your man wear throughout, through Halloween, adult parties or dressing up Halloween? What would you like them to see? Or would you want your man to be a stripper? Would you want your man to be the male stripper with the elephant G-string type of situation, right? So no one wants to see me in that thing, right? Even my lady doesn't want to see me in that. But I look at bringing out your wild side. I want to know, what is it inside, deep, deep, deep down in you, to bring that sexual beast out of you. The sultry, the seductress, the maybe your guy or maybe your man doesn't think he can be that, Casanova, the Don Juan type of thing, the seducer. And, maybe it's funny, on Halloween he becomes that, whatever, and you're like, hey, I didn't know you had this in you. I'm looking at, role-playing throughout the whole year to bring that confidence out into the bedroom, countertops or whatever. And whatever works for you. I want to hit me up with some questions, people, right? No one wants to just hear me talk throughout the Art of Relationship show. But let me know, what are you wearing and, the confidence. Sometimes our confidence could be based on how we're raised. Let's go there. Good girls, good boys don't act like this. They don't dress like this. Good girls don't wear makeup when they're 16, 17, whatever, right? Good boys don't, that type of situation. And a lot of it could be culture. It could be, religious beliefs. I'm not even going to go there. Or family dynamics, how we're raised, right? That we're taught that it's wrong to be a certain way. It's wrong to be that seductress. It's wrong to be that that guy with a lot of sexual prowess and confidence, right? That's only for the, quote unquote bad people. Well, I'm wondering, can you still be a good person? I believe so. Absolutely. You can still be a good person and be a seductress. Ooh. To be a seducer, that type of situation. And everybody reference about, the guy's the seducer. Both, I think, can be the seducer, right? Let's be real. How many men out there love their women to initiate intimacy, love to rip your clothes off? How many guys out there, men out there, would love their partner to rip their clothes off, right? I want you. I want to devour you. I want to just, taste you all over the place. And a lot of us men would love that. And it's sort of ironic when, the ladies out there, they do it when they're drunk or during Halloween season, they have that confidence, right? I'm looking at what would it take inside of you to bring out that confidence throughout the year on a regular basis, okay? I'm looking at, tell me, throw comments in the chat again, people. I'd love to know, what would it take for you to bring out that confidence? And, ladies, I've heard it all over the place. I need a tummy tuck. I need boob jobs. I need a butt lift. I need whatever, right? Even without that, what would it take for you, with what you have now, to bring out that sexy side of you, that wild beast seductress out there throughout the year? Not only Halloween, but throughout the whole year. And I'd love to know, what you would like to be and what prevents you from bringing that out, people. Again, this is not a right, a wrong, that type of situation. And don't worry, people, I'm not going to mention your names. So if you throw out comments, in the chat, you throw out comments, I'm not going to mention your name. I'll keep it anonymous. I respect people's views. And like with the Art of Relationship show, I can't guarantee privacy. I can't guarantee that type of thing, but I won't announce your names or anything, just to give you a little bit of privacy, if you will, in your name. But I'd love to know, what do you need to happen to bring out confidence in your love life, confidence in your bedroom, confidence with your partner, that type of situation. Now, we can go deep all over the place, right? I'd love to be that seductress, Greg, but my man won't let me. He won't like it. He'll belittle, and I'm saying, why? Is it because he lacks confidence? He needs to be in control, which I mentioned earlier, and he doesn't like it because he's afraid once you become more confident, you're going to leave his ass. Let's be honest, right? And is that where all that lack of confidence come in your partner, that you're afraid to be that, bring that wild side out of you, how it's going to affect your partner, your relationship, right? It's that one scenario, let's be honest, right? I can't talk about this. I can't act this way because it's going to hurt their feelings. It's going to piss them off. I'm looking at in the context that you still are able to be you. Right? Can you still be that seductress? And that doesn't mean you're going to cheat or anything like that, but you're a seductress for your partner. Okay? Unless you're single and you want to be that way all over, go for it. Have at it, right? Have fun. Be safe, but have fun. And that goes for, men or women, right? So that's where I'm looking at, bringing that out even for your partner, do they make you feel safe enough to be able to do that? And, would they love it? Or would they feel awkward? They wouldn't know how to handle it. Let's be honest, right? Oh, they're so used to your partner being sort of quiet, sort of shy, sort of, lacking confidence, and they're used to that. However, what's going to happen is, you become more confident, more whatever. They might love it, but also feel uncomfortable. Told you I'm a realist, because they don't know what to do with it. They're like, oh my God, she wants to tie me up and stick what, where, what? No. So those are the situations where I want people to be able to explore and expand and be able to talk about your fantasies, what you want to do to one another. How do you want to act? How do you want to, even if you want to role play those situations, and to be able to look on that. Axe Body Spray, I appreciate you tuning in, people. I might have to bring you on for a couple sponsorship opportunities. I'd love it. I'd be flattered. So I appreciate you tuning in. When you look at those relevance, bringing out the sexiness, and maybe not only the sexiness of, Halloween and the costumes and, doing your hair up. Well, I can't. I have no hair, right? Obviously. But bringing out the sexiness is also, look, everybody, jump on the visual aspects about it, right? But also what makes you sexy, what brings out that seductress, is it a scent you wear, favorite perfume, or guys, cologne that your lady loves. I'm looking at talking about, those type of avenues and those type of situations. What brings out the sexiness in you? Everyone's like, oh, alcohol, right? If I get that. But even if, when you're sober, what would it take for you to be more sexy? Is it how you look? Is it how you smell? How you taste, right? All those situations. And that's where I'm looking at what is sexiness to you. What is being wild in your eyes? And there's people out there that, being wild is having intimacy, having sex with the lights on, okay? And again, it's not about judging. I look at how I can help couples and individuals get to where they want to be, if it's increasing their sexuality, if it's increasing their confidence level, and making them feel more confident in that way with their partner or couples together. Absolutely, right? And bringing it out, and even if you wrote a list out, what would make you sexy? If you were more confident, how would you act in the bedroom? Ooh, how would you carry yourself, right? Would you wear a different perfume, a different cologne? Would you wear different shades of makeup, lipstick? Ooh, there we go. Those are the things that I want people to look at and to understand, what would make you more confident in yourself. And not just, like I said at the beginning in the episode, right? The Halloween season, that a lot of women, they're all sexed up, all seductresses. And you know what? Men are like, oh, I love it. I love it. Man, why can't my lady be like this throughout the year? Maybe not every day. No, throughout the year. What would it take for them to be this way and to let loose and be more wild like this, and not just Halloween? Hey, Ashley, what's happening? Steven, what's going on? Appreciate everybody tuning in out there. Lewis, hey, what's happening? And again, throw your comments, throw your questions down below, people. And again, the questions, comments do not have to relate to Halloween or being a seductress or a seducer in the Halloween season. It can be anything related to dating, intimacy, relationships, marriage, parenting aspects as well. And, of course, promoting self-love and self-respect. Anything surrounding that, throw your questions, comments down below, okay? So think about this. Write a list out, if you can, or think about it in your head. What would allow your wild side to come out? And, again, that doesn't mean with everybody, but with your partner, to be more confident in that situation. And it's ironic. I'm trying to think of... God, what was the movie? The Secretary, I think. I'm going way back years ago, where meek, mild, shy, And all of a sudden she became, the seductress, more confident, more her sexuality just wow. Not that you have to be in, bondage and, dominatrix or, S&M like that. But let's face it, right? Also with 50 Shades of Grey, right? More shy, more shake, more whatever. And, she comes out, same thing, right? It's almost like 50 Shades of Grey stole from the secretary, stole scripts, and the book was made from that, right? Like they borrowed or stole from the secretary, which came out many, many years before. But looking at those aspects, man, I'd love to be able to be like that. I'd love to have that sexual confidence like that. I'd love to feel sexy like she feels. I can feel that, in the movie, in the books, those type of situations. And that's what, a lot of people bring out Halloween, right? Awesome, great. I want you to be able to challenge yourself and bring them out with your partner, if you have a partner, or even with yourself, right? To be able to own it, going, to the coffee shop, having a drink by yourself, and you own that sexuality. You own that confidence about you to be able to bring that out, okay? And again, a lot of people look at, they'll belittle, they'll demean, they'll call you names. So what, okay? Who cares? You might care, but they don't know you, right? They don't know you, that type of situation, right? Can you be classy and sexy? Absolutely. Maybe you can look a little risque and still be sexy. Absolutely. And you have a lot of people out there, let's face it, they judge, they bash, so what? And that's where I think a lot of people sort of bring out the wild side during Halloween, because society gives you permission to be that seductress, be sexy, be slutty. Oh, yeah, because it's Halloween, it's allowed. But throughout other times of years, it's not allowed. I'm like, where do you have to get your permission from? Is it from your neighbors? Is it from relatives? No. Religion? No. Hell no. Is it from yourself to be that way in the context of your relationship or in your marriage, okay? And those are the situations where I want people to bring it out, to be able to look at, man, how did that, yeah, it's scripted, right? 50 Shades or years ago, secretary, so shy, meek, clumsy, turns into and evolves into a sex goddess, confident, so assured that way, so assured what you want, what you love, what you don't like, and how you own it, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you look, carry yourself, right? And a lot of people they bring that out Halloween. I'm looking at you, ladies, and challenging you. What would it take for you to bring that out on a regular basis throughout the year? Not that you have to dial up all the time. No, it's a lot of work. Sometimes, being in sweats or, leggings or whatever, or just shorts and a t-shirt are sexy as hell to me. So, those type of situations, but you own it. You own that confidence, sexuality. And that doesn't mean you're arrogant. No, 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 no. That doesn't mean you're arrogant, you're bougie. That doesn't mean, all of a sudden, my man ain't good enough for, no, that isn't about it. It's about owning that confidence within inside of you to bring out that wild side a little bit with your man, with your partner, or if you're in a same-sex relationship, okay? Same thing, doesn't matter. So I'm challenging you to even look at, to consider, please, to think about what would it take for you to bring that out more often, and not just societal given permission of Halloween, okay? So challenge yourself. And also, not only Halloween, how would you like your man to maybe act? Would you like him to seduce you more? Be able to throw you up against a wall. And we're not talking about putting your head through the drywall, no, but putting you up against a wall, kissing you, ripping your clothes off. Those are type of situations for any gender. What would it take to bring out that confidence you have during Halloween and carry it throughout the year, right? Confidence does not mean you're a control freak. Confidence does not mean you're arrogant. Hell no. But that you carry that with you and you can learn from each other and have a lot of fun in that development and evolving your sexuality in your relationship in that way to become more confident, more sexy, maybe more role playing, and have more fun in that domain in your marriage and in your relationship, okay? And I know everybody, or a lot of people might have kids, young kids, or might be tired, exhausted. I'm tired a lot. No excuses, I'm tired, whatever, trying to work on that, where I'm not tired all the time. Yeah, go see your doctor if things are going on, okay, people? Men, I know you hate doctors. We all do, right? Hey, Jess, what's going on? Doris, Torek, what's happening? So these are situations where I want people to give yourself permission to even look at, hey, you know what? How would I be more sexy, more confident? That Halloween seductress, what would I take it, and develop it throughout the year so I can be this way on a regular basis, not just the permission given time frame of Halloween, okay? So I am going to say goodbye. I'm going to cut the show a little short today. Any questions, any comments related to, healing your marriage, healing after an affair, premarital counseling, okay? Anything I can do to help you out, check out my website, theartofrelationships.org. Follow me all over the place. YouTube, check out all the Art of Relationships shows, episodes. Probably the easiest on YouTube, at LoveGuruGreg. And you can follow me all over the place as well. Same thing, at LoveGuruGreg. Hey, Curtis, what's happening, people? And again, everybody, let's keep spreading peace and love out there and keep spreading equality for all, okay? Peace and love. Everybody take care. Bye-bye.